So in my review of Steven Universe Season 5, I mentioned how I wanted to do a full video on pitching a spin-off focusing on Lars and the Off-Colors. I gave a small little segment in a pitching video a few months ago about it, but now I'm giving it the full video treatment. So first off, I want to expand upon some of my personal sort of headcanons for the characters and how I would like to see that be explored throughout this. So apparently the Morganite who owned the ruby and pearl that make up Rhodonite was meant to appear in future, where we'd learn that she designed the diamond's palanquins. And we'd learned that Ruby and Pearl had fallen in love and secretly fused, but were continuously found out until being exiled and joining the Off-Colors. Now I want to bring this back, although I would rather it be a friendship story rather than a love one. I also wouldn't have them be found continuously. If Morganite was so high in gem society that she was the designer of the diamond's palanquins, I doubt she would be so forgiving of them fusing. As for personality of the Ruby and Pearl, I'd go with Ruby being the more level-headed of the two and Pearl being where a lot more of the anxious side of Rhodonite comes from. Being a Pearl, she would have initially felt she should have been better. Well, better at being what the diamonds want, of course. And while those feelings would die down over the eons, being stuck in that kindergarten wouldn't really help with being so worried all the time. And on that kindergarten, I like to think this is where the Rutile twins emerged. Well, somewhere here. It's a very big kindergarten. Now, they were left alone and abandoned after all the other Rutiles ran away, and I'd really love to see Amethyst make an appearance in this, simply to interact with the twins, since she was also alone in her kindergarten. I think there's quite a lot to explore with that dynamic. And also, give them more distinct personalities from each other. Treat them as two separate characters, because that's what they are. They're not one gem with two heads. They're two gems with one body. They really are just the gem equivalent of conjoined twins in real life. Now, in my Season 5 review, I said I didn't really like Padparacha due to her just being a character that delivered a single joke and nothing else. And I really hope we get to see more of her actual personality and giving her actual dialogue that isn't just late predictions. Show us a side to her that's not just cheerful. Show us the sadder side to her. A side that's afraid of how her delayed sense of time can affect others. She would probably blame herself for Lars's death because of it. Show us more of her sort of mother and child dynamic with Rhodonite. Expand her role as technical advisor. Where did she learn enough about ships to be able to have that role compared to all the others? Now, first off with Fluorite, I want to give my own headcanons for the gems that make her up. I don't have anything for their individual personalities really, but just looking at the gems on her, I'd say she's a fusion of 3 Paradots, a Jade, a Sapphire, and an Emerald. I was debating between saying whether this gem was a Zircon or Emerald, but I decided to go with Emerald because we could get some really cool interactions with, like, Emerald. I don't really have a definitive idea of how she progressed as a fusion, but I doubt it was just all 6 fusing at once for the first time. Like maybe it was just 2 of them at first, and then others came later. Now let's talk Emerald. She should definitely be the main antagonist. I know she's treated kind of like a joke in Lars of the Stars, but I want her to be a serious threat. And if Jinx Monsoon came back to play her, I know she can be made super threatening. As for Lars himself, I don't really have that much to say. We already know him pretty well from the main show, but I would like to see his feelings of essentially being immortal now, and also whether or not he has other powers like Lion does. I mentioned Amethyst before, but I'd also like to see Pearl. That way we can see the Off-Colors with all 4 of the main characters from the show, since we already got Steven and Garnet. And obviously I want to see a bunch of new characters for the Off-Colors to meet, both friend and foe. As for the stories to be told, I see this as a pretty episodic series apart from the first few episodes, which would be dedicated to showing their escape from Homeworld and stealing the Sun Incinerator from Emerald. Have them continue to battle her throughout the series, give us flashbacks about the Off-Colors backstories, and give us adventures on new, completely alien worlds with no sight of gem activity. So there's my pitch for a spin-off surrounding the Off-Colors. Also, I made this poster for it. Yeah. Anyway, like and subscribe to make me smile, and Bingo Bongo.